Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. And today we're taking a look at the newest Halloween mask rehaul that I've done. This is of course the original 78 mask from Halloween 1978. This is the official TOTS 78 mask. They also have another one under the name The Boogeyman, but this one is the 78. This one's more representative of the castle stretch. It's a very nice sculpt overall. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's a little bit better scaled down, like the 1/6 scale figure or even the 7-inch scale figure. For some reason, the life-size mask I'm not the biggest fan of. I think something's missing. The overall shape of the mask, the structure of the mask, I'm not a big fan of. The face sculpt itself is good, but like the sides of the head and the neck. I mean, you can stuff those things away, but I don't use a mannequin under my stands. I use just a foam ball, so it's kind of hard to castle stretch them because there's no mass in the majority of the head. It's just, around the top of the head. So I'm gonna have to get myself a nice mannequin head to stuff these to get a little bit of a better castle stretch for the reviews, or the showcases rather. But of course, you don't want to use a regular mannequin head by itself. You're going to want to have something covering it. Some mannequin heads come with plastic on them already, I believe. But anyway, yeah, you don't want the styrofoam touching the mask. It's not good for it. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy up close and personal. We're going to just give him a nice spin around first, and then we'll go up and take a closer look at some details. We're going to try to make this quick today because I don't feel like talking for 20 minutes. So, let's go. First, taking a nice spin around. You can see them sideburns right there. You can see the hair. We got a lot of little wispies in there, kind of by themselves. And you can see the hair's a little bit brighter in the back. This is the camel hair once again. I do like this hair a lot. I think it's pretty versatile. I think it probably fits a 78 or an 18 mask a little bit better than a 78. It doesn't nap quite as much as I want it to. It takes a lot of work to get it kind of nappy and nest-like, especially for a H2 mask. But overall, it works pretty well. A lot of people say that's what TOTS uses, but I can definitely feel a quality difference between this stuff and what TOTS uses. I get this stuff off Etsy. I got like I got 2 pounds of it. 2 pounds of it for about 60-70 bucks. And I've had to have done 8 or 9 masks, and I still have a lot left. So you can see the sideburns right there. You can see this kind of high cut right here. I've done a video on my previous 78 mask. Why I think that's kind of accurate. And you can see it's a little bit darker right there with the paint. I have a theory that when Tommy Lee Wallace was ripping the sideburns off, he cut it a little bit high. And then if you look at the famous image where Nick Castle's holding the mask next to his head, it looks like there's black right here, but it doesn't look like hair, at least to me. Now, these aren't the highest quality images, on the internet, so I could be mistaken. I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but it looks like the hairline goes back a little bit further, and then maybe he filled it in with some paint to make it look a little bit better. And the reason I think that it is just paint is because if you look at Halloween 2, you can see the hairline is cut back a little bit further, and you're starting to see some Rehaul artists just do that as well with their Halloween 2s. The hair goes back a little bit further, and it makes this triangle a little bit more pronounced. That's just my personal opinion. That's what it looks like to me. However, I could be wrong. And you could argue that there is hair here, and then by the time Halloween 2 came, some of the hair might have fallen out. I don't know. That could be the case as well, but I think it's probably just paint. Right here, you have the nice little point right here that leads right down this dirt line, which goes down the nose. The nose aspect is more visible in Halloween 2, whereas in Halloween 1, the line is more visible on the forehead, but it's a little bit more faint in Halloween 2, and then it picks up on the nose. It's a little bit more faint in Halloween 2, and then picks up on the nose. The sideburns are a mixture of the sculpted ones, and then me building it up with some tacky glue, and then also a little bit of latex to add some color in there. Just a little bit. And I, went all the way up and all the way down and shaped it a little bit down here. and then this one I extended the shape a little bit. I have a little bit of a curve there because that's what I see in some of the images. I don't think it's just a straight line. I've talked about that in some other videos as well. You can see the skin tone is a little bit more extreme back here. A lot of nice dirt. Some skin tone back there. Just a tiny bit on the sides above the ears. A little tiny bit up around the top of the head right there. You can see some more there. That's very, very faint on the neck. And then just a little bit under there. Not really any in the eyes, just very, very small touches of it. And then most of the paint work is done with charcoal. Doing it on with my fingers, with a paintbrush, with a charcoal pencil, gray dry brushing, stuff like that. I think I did do a wash on this mask as well. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, and the hair was sprayed a little bit with black paint with the airbrush. So yeah, I think this guy looks pretty cool. He's not too bad, not too shabby. Again, I don't really highlight the sideburns that much. I do just a little bit. I like to highlight the peak right here, or the steepest part of the cheekbone on this side, and then the lowest part right there. But other than that, I don't really highlight those. Got some nice highlighting right here on the Cupid's bow, and then the bottom lip. I think that came out pretty nice. Let's see what you guys are seeing. Yeah, so also the way that the lighting is, it's kind of top heavy a little bit, so the rest of the mask isn't that dirty. Once we get in closer, you'll be able to see that. But yeah, there's a lot of nice shapes going on with the sideburns. If you look at Halloween 2, it kind of looks like you got this bit of a swoop going right here. Now, it's hard to see in Halloween 1 if that's accurate. I can't really find any strong images where they show the side of the mask like that. But, it is possible that some hair came out during the filming of Halloween 1 and 2. So it's possible it didn't start off looking like this, and then by the time Halloween 2 came, it looks a little bit more wavy like that. It's entirely possible. But what I do see in Halloween 1 and in Halloween 2 is that the remnants of the hairline does start to come down the sideburn here, and then you get the actual side of the mask. If you look at masks, the way that they're sculpted, generally they're sculpted with just the smooth transition going down. That's not what I see on the masks, so that's why that little peak is right there. It's a part of the actual hairline. So this is just a little bit more neat than the back, but it's still a little bit messy because, again, that's kind of what I see there. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell in the images. Like I said, I think this is the part of the actual hairline of the Kirk mask, but then this isn't. Obviously, this would have gotten ripped off. But I think that this little segment that's left is a part of the Kirk hairline, and then what's behind it isn't. If you look at some images, it looks like this little strand right here is always kind of left by itself, and I will throw an image up for that. Some of the other stuff that I'm talking about, I've said it in other videos. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time editing, so if you want to check out my previous 78, you can get another idea. You can get a better idea of what I'm talking about in that video there. But yeah, this little strand looks like it kind of sits by itself, even in that famous image where Nick Castle is holding the mask next to his head. It looks like this is kind of like by itself. So yeah, somewhere in here there's a break, and then also this is more prominent because of the little bump that you see in the behind the scenes images. It's hard to tell if that's actually a part of the mask or if it's just something that happens when Nick Castle's wearing it, because I don't know if you really notice it in Halloween 2, but that's kind of where that T shape starts. So yeah, I'm kind of just blabbing here, so rambling on about a lot of different stuff that I just kind of see in the images there, but you can see a little bit of the little horns hanging out in the back. They're a little asymmetrical there. Again, we have some kind of swooping up by themselves, just laying down, just to add a little bit of, I guess you can't really see them from your position, but they're kind of just already formed but laying down. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the mask, shall we? Alrighty, folks, so you can see some of those other strands right there laying up on the top of the head, and some back here, like I was talking about. You can see that there. can see some of the colors in the hairline, or in the glue line right there. There's a slight yellowish, that's a little bit of latex in there. And then just a lot of dirt and grime. Again, this doesn't look this harsh in person. I'm always trying to find that balance where, you know, on camera, you know, it's always a little bit different than what it is in person. And sometimes it looks a little lighter on camera than it is in person, or sometimes it looks a little darker. It's a bit strange. But yeah, you can see all that going around there. I try to give the back a lot of nice attention with the dirt and grime. It's always kind of neglected, especially with the H40s, because it's really hard to tell what's going on back there. And the Kills masks. And you got the dirt and grime on the nose. Now on the actual mask, I don't believe that there was this much skin tone in the back, but I do like it. So I think, you know, even when you see Tommy recreate the mask, he does paint the whole back of the mask, and a lot of images it does look like it's all painted. So it's not the most accurate thing, but I do like it. So that's why we go with that. And you can see that a line running down the forehead is a little bit more prominent there. But yeah, you guys know what a 78 looks like. There's nothing too crazy going on here. Just a fun one. This guy is already sold. I sold him on eBay to a bloke in Canada. So I'm going to be shipping him out today. Otherwise, I'd tell you, if you want this guy, you can message me on Instagram, but unfortunately, he's already sold. A lot of the times, if I don't sell a mask right away, I will throw it on eBay a couple of weeks later. So if you ever want to see if there's a mask available, then you can check out eBay. I do have another mask currently on eBay right now. It's a Halloween Kills mask. It's the one that I just did the video on a couple of weeks ago that I'm still trying to sell. But I actually have done a lot of work to that, so I'm probably going to be doing another video here shortly on that one as well. Let's bring this back. All right, guys, so bringing that back here. Like I said, this isn't going to be a video that's too long. You guys know what a 78 looks like. There's nothing too crazy going on there to be all up in depth about. I have done some other videos that give you a better look at what it looks like in natural light. There's some shorts on the channel and on my Instagram and my TikTok. My TikTok is Cox Studios. My Instagram is @therealcox_studios. And the shorts are on the channel if you want to take a look at those. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. If you guys are interested in getting a mask for yourself, you can message me on Instagram, once again, @therealcox_studios. You'll find that information down in the description below. And that's pretty much it. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. All of that would be greatly appreciated if you decide to do so. And of course, until next time, true believers.